You got to feel it. You have to feel the strongest, most negative emotions inside of you. It's the only way that you're ever going to feel like yourself. The only way you're going to really feel like an adult, to feel like a functioning, mature person. See, right now you're spending all of your energy and time and a lot of money avoiding those strong emotions, avoiding those feelings because you've convinced yourself to stay away from them. You've convinced yourself, and other people have convinced you that those feelings and those emotions are the problem, but they're not. Those emotions, those feelings that you're avoiding are actually the doorway in. You have to go through that door to become the you that you want to be. So I want to show you how to find those emotions and feel them. That's all you have to do. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to solve them. You don't have to make them go away. You just got to find them and feel them. Right now, you don't know what they are. I didn't either. You have a sense that things are off, that things are not working, feel confused, you maybe feel stressed, overwhelmed, or some general anxiety or fear or whatever it is. But that's just at the surface. That's your everyday mood that comes and goes. That's not what I'm talking about. There are feelings underneath that you have devised a bunch of strategies. Now you know this. You devised a bunch of strategies to avoid the way you eat too much or eat the wrong things, drugs, legal or illegal, sex or sexuality, masturbation, pornography, too much work, consuming too much media, scrolling endlessly. Those are your medications. Those are the things that you're doing right now that keep you from feeling those feelings underneath. So that's why you can't find them. That's why it's hard to answer the question, how are you actually feeling? It's because you're in a medicated state. It's like an anesthetic. You're numbed out, you're checked out because there's so many things that you're doing in your day that are actually keeping you checked out. So to find those feelings, you got to start to remove, you got to strip away those habits, the things that you do, those medications, those behaviors. You got to start to strip them away. You got to cut back on social media, the content, entertainment. You got to cut back on the unhealthy food or the unhealthy exercise, the lack of exercise. You got to cut back on the ways that you're keeping yourself in that checked out state. And the moment that you do, you don't even have to do it for 30 days. You could do it for 3 days, right? If you've got an unhealthy relationship with media, videos, social media, it's not going to take 30 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 1 day. And you'll start to feel feelings that you haven't felt in a long time, maybe ever. So whether it's media, sexuality, your work, the way you obsess about whatever, obsess about your kids or your relationship, whatever you're spinning about, you got to take a break from that. Not because those things are evil or bad. It's just that they're keeping you above the surface. They're keeping you from being able to find those strong emotions and those negative emotions. And so you're ending up where you are now, which is you feel like a little bit anxious, a little bit fearful, a little bit stressed or a lot stressed. But it's this diffuse, ambiguous, something's not right. And I want you to find specific feelings, strong emotion. So that's the first step. You gotta find them. And the way you find them is by stripping away thoughtfully, carefully, the things that you're doing in your life right now that are keeping you from being able to feel those things. And once you find them, you got to feel them. Just feel them. This is counter to everything anyone has ever told you about what you're supposed to do with emotions, with pain, with problems. Everybody tells you got to fix them, you got to solve them, you got to do whatever, you got to overcome your fear. No, that is wrong. That will never get you, never get you to where you want to go. You got to feel the fear all the way down. You got to let yourself build a muscle that you don't have today, which is the ability to withstand, to tolerate, to feel strong emotion. Because here's the thing. The version of you who can't do that is a child. It's a younger version of you who wasn't mature enough, who wasn't strong enough, who wasn't confident enough to be able to feel those things. And so as a child, you did the only thing that you could do, which is to run as far as you could, to put as many layers between you and those feelings, because it wasn't safe to feel those things then. But it is now. Because you're here. Because you're the adult in the room. And you have to give yourself that. Nobody else in the world, nobody, not me, not any of your friends, not your partner, not your parents, not your kids, nobody in the world can be that for you other than you. I struggled with this for so long, almost 25 years. When I was in my 20s, if I watched this video and listened to some guy say the things that I'm saying to you right now, I would have brushed him off so fast. I already know that. I've already done that work. I've already felt all those feelings. I'm good. I had no idea. It took my life falling apart financially, relationships, health-wise, my work. It took everything falling apart for me to have my face smashed into it, to see, to accept that I had no idea how to feel. No idea. I didn't know how to feel the real sadness that I felt in my heart. I didn't know how to feel lonely. I didn't know how to feel real desire. And I definitely didn't know how to feel fear. I was all talk. But over the course of years, slowly but surely, I did exactly what I'm inviting you to do. I stripped away all the things in my life, and there were a lot of them, all the things in my life that I was pretending were real, that I was fabricating to convince myself that I was okay. I want to save you that time. You don't have to take as long as I did to be able to feel these feelings, to build this confidence in yourself. It took me 20 years. You can do it in 1 or 2. It's simple, and it's the most difficult thing you will ever do in your life. But it will work. It can't not. Look for the things in your life that are keeping you checked out, the ways you numb yourself, the way you keep yourself out of life, of raw emotion, of feeling. Pull those things down, pull it apart. You have to. What choice do you have? Your life isn't working right now, so why not give it a shot? Whatever it is for you. Start to pull those things back and let yourself feel that emotion. I promise you, it's not negative. There's nothing wrong with you. There is no emotion, not a single emotion inside of you that is actually negative or bad or shameful or wrong. Not one. That's just a story in your mind told to you by a younger version of you that didn't have a choice, that had to believe that because it wasn't safe. I want this for you so badly. I can't even express how much I want this for you. This was the turning point in my life when I learned how to pull back my medications to feel the feelings that I was afraid to feel, only to discover that's who I actually was underneath. A raw, screwed up, honest with himself, vulnerable, anxious, sometimes depressed human being. It was from that place that I created the work that I was born to do, the marriage that has been a source of endless joy and fun in my life, built a family, built a career, found good friends, learned how to take care of myself. Every single part of the life that I have today that I'm proud of is a life that I earned by going through hell. And to find out that that hell was a myth, a story. That's the story that I want you to overcome. I really appreciate you listening to these videos. It's difficult. It's difficult to talk about this terrain of consciousness. Our world is filled with quick fixes and easy ways to try to get right in your life. This is a hard way. And I really appreciate you being here and leaning into it. Can't wait to hear from you.